G'day, Bitcoin. BlackRock is over $1 billion of Bitcoin now. The World Economic Forum is going absolutely crazy against Bitcoin. We've got so many videos. They are scared. Bitcoin, congratulations, has beat out silver. Trump pledges to ban CBDCs. Javier Milei destroys Klaus Schwab. The World Economic Forum crock roasts Klaus Schwab again. Grim Kramer is signaling the Bitcoin bottom is in. Hopefully it's not an inverse Kramer. This video is R18, ladies and gentlemen. It will contain a high amount of profanity. We will go back to a family-friendly programming next week, so you have been notified today. Let me just add this to the stream. Give me 2 secs. So here we go. BlackRock Bitcoin ETF now holds 25,067 Bitcoin worth over 1.06 billion days in 4 days of trading. This is absolutely massive. This is the power of the Bitcoin ETF. What do I think about the Bitcoin ETF? Please still hold your Bitcoin in self-custody. We'll talk about it a little bit more. We've got a couple of things. Jamie Dimon again. I'll hold out on the swearing for a couple more minutes. It is going to be pretty profane today. So again, you have been warned. Singapore Monetary Authority denies approval for the spot Bitcoin ETFs. That's a bloody stupid move, Singapore, but it's only a matter of time. Slowly, then suddenly. Now, this is where the swearing starts. This guy was made to apologize, and this is his apology. It's absolutely fantastic. Let me just put my ears on. Let's go.
So yesterday, I stood on this stage and said some things that I should not have said. But we all deserve a second chance. So I would like to apologize to absolutely no one. None of you were elected to show us how we should live our lives. All of you motherfuckers took your private jets to show up to this meeting, so don't lecture us about the environment. I ain't eating bugs, you can eat these nuts, and once again, you and your fake climate agenda can go fuck.
That is absolutely fucking brilliant. What a guy. I don't know if you saw that first video there at Sean Clark 911. I have reposted it. Absolutely serving it to these evil, sinister, despicable human beings. Talking about despicable human beings that are putting out lies, misinformation, and propaganda. This is 2 minutes 26, and it's absolutely amazing the shit that comes out of this fuckface's mouth. Yes, you have been warned. It's only going to get worse from here, ladies and gentlemen. Normal programming, family friendly next week. Let's go, dickhead.
Could we pivot to a topic that I know you find sort of laborious at this point?
That's a good word.
Which is Bitcoin.
Yeah.
This ETF was approved just about a week ago now, and I think a lot of people are trying to understand what it ultimately means. JP Morgan, I imagine if you were a client of JP Morgan, you could call your broker and say, get me some of this ETF. What are you telling your brokers to tell them back when they make that call?
Yeah. So this is an important thing. This is the last time I've ever talked about this in CNBC. Okay.
Bullshit.
So help me God. Blockchain is real. It's a technology.
You're an idiot.
We use it. It's going to move money. It's going to move data. It's efficient.
He's a shitcoiner. Listen to the words this dickhead speaks.
And we've been talking about that for 12 years too, and it's very small. Okay. So I think we've wasted too many words in that. Cryptocurrencies, there are two types. There's a cryptocurrency which might actually do something. Think of a cryptocurrency as an embedded smart contract in it, and that we can use it to buy and sell real estate and move data. That may have value.
The idea of tokenizing things.
Tokenizing things that you do something with. And then there's one which does nothing. I call it the pet rock, the Bitcoin or something like that. And so on the Bitcoin, there's...
I absolutely love my pet rocks. They're absolutely incredible little creatures. So maybe stack and chill. This dude is an absolute twat.
First of all, and I'm not trying to make a joke here. There are use cases, AML, fraud, anti-money laundering, tax avoidance, sex trafficking.
As you're talking about fiat here, we're going to dive into the absolute shenanigans that JP Morgan as a bank has been involved in. Anyway, over to you.
Those are real use cases, and you see it being used for hundreds, maybe 50 or $100 billion a year for that. That is the end use case. Everything else is people train among themselves. So
speculate.
Yeah. Now,
trading among ourselves, Dick, When I buy it, it goes straight into cold storage and it never sees the light of day. This dude's just full of absolute shit. I just want to say, if we shout out to everyone in the comments, but here, back for more Bitcoin. We'll play Dimon in a second. Dimon, the 20 tons of coke, 13 billion in fines for crimes. Peter Banker talks about Bitcoin, but nothing about his crimes. We'll keep going with this guy. Anyway, you have been warned. There's more swearing incoming. Like, share the video while we are live. Hit subscribe if we live. Usually, we are trying to be as family friendly as possible. Not today.
Okay. Now, my last statement. The last time I ever talk about Bitcoin is I defend your right to do Bitcoin. I think, it's okay. I don't want to tell you what to do. So my personal advice would be don't get involved.
That's good.
But I don't want to tell any one of you what to do. It's a free country.
What do you make of BlackRock? What do you make of the other firms, the BlackRocks of the world that obviously, and Larry Fink changed his view of this, obviously. Yeah. And maybe he changed his view because you think he genuinely...
Hey, proof of work. That's what happens when you put in the time, you understand Bitcoin. Anyway, this is absolutely a golden moment.
He believes in Bitcoin or believes it because he thinks that there's a marketplace for it and he wants to be part of that market. But what do you think of there's about a dozen big financial companies, Fidelity included.
Number one, I don't care. So just please stop talking about this shit. And I don't know what he would say about blockchain versus currencies that do something versus Bitcoin that does nothing. And maybe that's not different than me. But, this is what makes a market.
Yes, you do absolutely nothing apart from tout shit.
Okay. People have opinions. This is the last time I'm ever going to state my opinion.
Absolute bullshit. We can see in the chat there, 98% of the next interview by Brendan is saying JP Morgan, Mr. Jamie Dimon will be about Bitcoin. Now, Peter McCormack, shout out. Jamie Dimon, Bitcoin use case, money laundering, fraud, tax avoidance, sex trafficking, JP Morgan, hold my bear. Let's look at these things. Hit with $200 million in fines for letting employees use WhatsApp to evade regulators' reach. That's number one. JP Morgan Chase agrees to pay $920 million in connection with schemes to defraud precious metals and U.S. Treasury markets. JP Morgan to pay $75 million for role in Epstein's sex trafficking operations. And France finds U.S. bank JP Morgan $29.6 million in tax fraud settlement. A message for Jamie Dimon, go fuck yourself, you fucking douchebag. Anyway, my apologies, ladies and gentlemen. The swearing is going to ramp up more and more. How much fear? This is Brian Dimon, the author of Bitcoin Evangelism. If you haven't read it, it's a great book to read. There is a link at the top of the description. But how much fear would you wager that this wasn't even Jamie Dimon's last comment on Bitcoin ever? 100% he's going to continue to bring it up. Let's jump into the numbers. Let's look at the numbers this way today, hey? We are at block height 826,297. Local time 5:44 a.m. We are back to 5:35 a.m. We are going live Australian Eastern Standard Time. 7:30 UTC. Exchange rate, we are down 41,365. But look at those sats per USD. We are back up 2,418. Market cap $810.8 billion. Last block rewards, pretty cool there. 7.09%. The fees make up 0.8446. A measly 11.9%. Hundreds of thousands of dollars. The next halving, we're almost under 13,000. 2 days ago, we were above 15,000 at the start of the week. Estimated halving, 23rd of April, 2024. The difficulty is going to go up. The average block is being mined in 10 minutes and 30 seconds. And I'll show you here. Fuck the shit coins. Fuck all that shit. Anyway, there's a beautiful big red buy button today. Get prepared psychologically. You can push that red buy button, push it when it's green. It's all good. But when you're pushing it specifically when it's red, you don't get shaken out by these up and down movements. You're like, oh, this is a great opportunity. We will get $10,000, $20,000 days when in due course. Nico, shout out to Simply Bitcoin. Nico Moran. It's Bitcoin or slavery. You are not alone. Everyone is tired of the lies and bullshit too. We will rebuild what we are seeking to destroy on top of a Bitcoin standard, a world built on truth, love, and optimism. We are winning. HODL strong. Now, oh man, Christine Lagarde, do we even want to listen to the shit that comes out of this woman's mouth? Anyway, shout out to Rory. Let us know what block height you are watching this at for the live or for the replay. Let's listen to this crazy, crazy, crazy insidious woman.
Hello. So here I am in Davos for the annual World Economic Forum.
Fuck you.
And I will be talking probably a lot about our determination and our confidence that we will return inflation back to 2%.
Bullshit.
I will also be listening to what other participants have to say, because it's always a time when you can understand what is going on in the industry, what are the latest developments, and that obviously informs the way in which we make our decisions when it comes to monetary policy.
What I want to say for everyone watching, let's get rid of those shitcoins in the background. I like this one here, bitfeed.live. To everyone watching, you're amazing. You're doing the right things. You're reading the books. You're understanding Bitcoin. You're putting in the proof of work. People like Christine Lagarde, Jamie Dimon, they can all go fuck themselves. This is what we're railing against. This is who we are going to war against. It is, like Nico says, Bitcoin or slavery. This is where you've got an opportunity. Oh, the price is down. Don't be so scared. It's an amazing opportunity because the supply crunch will come with the demand incoming. Things are about to get hectic. Did it happen as soon as we thought? No. Will it happen? Absolutely. Make the most of it. Don't get shaken out. Don't listen to the bullshit that these people say. And I apologize for the tone today. On this beautiful, glorious Friday, I'm sending my love, my well wishes out there to everyone. I will go do something nice for someone today to make up for the swearing, the profanity. Now, Donald Trump, like him or hate him, I don't really care, but this is a great stance to be taking for someone that is running for the president of the United States of America as your president. I'll never allow the creation of a CBDC. Such a currency would give the federal government absolute control over your money. Obviously, Vivek Ramaswamy has been speaking in Donald Trump's ears. That is very, very clear. But either way, he's saying it. Is he going to follow through? Let's fucking hope so. I bloody hope so. And then if they can do it, maybe the rest of the world can do it, because all these CBDC pilots are happening everywhere. This is why all these wankers, the quintillions, are meeting at Davos with the World Economic Forum to be able to fucking enslave us. Fuck them. This is a good message.
Tonight, I'm also making another promise to protect Americans from government tyranny. As your president, I will never allow the creation of a central bank digital currency. You know about that?
He's like, whoa, I did not expect that reply. He is going to double down on this for sure. We can see this playing out in real time. Absolutely. Obviously, he still needs to follow through. They're not obliged to hold on to any of their promises, but he's going to use this as part of his campaign. Listen.
I didn't know you know so much. I'm very well. New Hampshire, very smart people, very current. You know what they're doing. Such a currency would give a federal government, our federal government, the absolute control over your money. They could take your money. You wouldn't even know it was gone. This would be a dangerous threat to freedom, and I will stop it from coming to a. Tonight, I'm also making another promise to.
Please, if you get in power, stop him. Whoever you're voting for, the whole world is going into the biggest election cycle the world has ever seen, history has ever seen, with Bitcoin on the balance card as well. This is going to be 2024, the year of chaos. It's going to be both good and bad. There's opportunity in every crisis, and I believe the Chinese symbol for crisis does mean opportunity as well. Either way, maybe I'm mixing it up, but it's very similar to that. Make the most of it. The world's getting hectic. Whatever the fuck they're up to at Davos, we will keep you informed, usually in a more chill, calm, collected place. But we need this to happen. We don't need CBDCs. That is the biggest step towards the enslavement of the human population. This is a little bit longer, so I'll shuffle it down the track a little bit. I just want to get through a few more things first, regardless of what you think of Scaramucci. I've got my own thoughts there. But what he says about Elizabeth Warren and Mr. Dimon, it's a pretty good hot take. Joe Burnett, effectively anybody who holds Bitcoin is going to hold a future claim on the productivity of the planet in perpetuity discounted to the present. That's what the price of Bitcoin is really showing us. Nobody is bullish enough. Nobody is bullish enough. Short term, we may not know. Long term, we can see where it is going. And it's just insane what's happened in the last 4 days. If you are watching live with a replay, if you can smash that like while we are live, especially it gets the video out, and say hi in the comments and subscribe if we vibe. Now, Eric Bellahanis, or I'm going to say Bellahanis. I know that's not quite right. That's what stuck in my mind. I will work on that. Anyway, day 4 was a good one. The rolling net flows grew to 1.2 bill after the newborn 9 pulled in 914 billion on Wednesday. By far their best day yet, overwhelming the 450. Is that meant to be mil? Anyway, 450 out of GBDC. The 9 have now taken in 3 billion. Yeah. And traded 5.4 billion, so it should be an M. Anyway, it's too late to adjust. Abnormally high numbers. IBIT is now over 1 bill. FBTC close behind. And BitB firmly in 3rd place. Now, 5 of them are over $100 million. I did have the absolute pleasure, actually, to interview the CIO of BitB, Bitwise, yesterday, Matt Hogan. We did do it live. Really good conversation. I actually asked him the hard questions, the questions that you want to know about this war and the takeover of Wall Street. Can they work together? What's good? What's bad? Well worth checking out. I made it as short and sharp as possible. And we did do it live as well, and some great questions from the community there. But pretty impressive. BlackRock, Fidelity, evil corporations, Bitwise looks like they're doing the right thing there and actually understand Bitcoin, and we'll leave it there. Anyway, Elon Musk, Grok rose, Klaus Schwab at the WEF. Oh boy, Grok, where do I even begin with this one? Klaus Schwab, the man, the myth, the guy who probably thinks the Great Reset is a catchy name for his plans to take over the world. I mean, come on. Who names their evil plans after a Windows update? So Klaus, who wants to improve the state of the world, huh? Well, I've got news for you, buddy. The only thing you've improved is the global supply eye rolls every time you open your mouth. Your stakeholder capitalism sounds like a fancy way of saying screw the little guy and make the rich richer. And don't even get me started on your 4th industrial revolution. It's like you watched The Terminator and thought, hey, that looks like a great idea, and let's not forget your charming personality, Easy Bugs. You know, the one that makes a root canal seem like a pleasant alternative to listening to you drone on about resilient, equitable, and sustainable societies. I'm pretty sure even Elon Musk would rather be stuck in a Twitter edit button meeting than enjoy another one of your inspiring speeches. But hey, at least you got a sense of humor, right? I mean, who else would think it's a good idea to hold a conference in Davos, Switzerland, and then wonder why people call you out of touch? It's like holding a climate change summit in a coal mine and being surprised when people say you're not taking it seriously. So in conclusion, Klaus, you're a walking, talking example of an absolute twat of what happens when somebody reads too many dystopian novels and starts to think they're a self-help guide. But hey, keep on doing you, buddy. We'll be over here trying to resist the urge to facepalm every time you say the Great Reset. Klaus Schwab, fuck you. I will not be eating the bugs. Now, Franklin Templeton, people are calling for them to take their laser eyes off because they are starting to promote the shitcoins. Well done on the Bitcoin community for absolutely roasting. On another side, it is pretty cool that Franklin Templeton is memeing Bitcoin. We see this out there, 60-40 plus Bitcoin. Yes, but they are being roasted at the minute. Now, Jim Cramer, could he just lay off it just for a little bit? The legendary Larry Williams warning me that we are very far from the bottom in crypto. Well, if we're very far, maybe it's time for number go up. Now, Anthony Scaramucci, it starts off a little bit slow and then gets right into it. So while you are listening, while he's warming up, drop a question, a comment there in the live chat, and let me know if you agree or disagree when he gets to the point about Warren and Dimon.
You have lots of investors that went into the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust at 2%. They bought it at the Bitcoin at 50,000, 60,000, 69,000. And so when the ETF became available and they were able to sell the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust and take a loss for tax purposes, and you guys know this, they have to wait 30 days before they can reload. But it's a great arbitrage for these people. They can go from a 2% trust into a 21 basis point ETF, and they have to wait, and there's a lot of churn and a lot of volume churn as a result of that. But I think generally,
he's getting into it.
The notion that this is an asset class that's here to stay. People like Abigail Johnson at Fidelity and Larry Fink are working on it at BlackRock. I think is great for the industry. Now, what I will say is that we've overly politicized regulation in the country, and I would love to see the SEC move to a more nonpartisan, non-political standard the way the Fed is. And I'm wondering if that could ever happen.
Just hold in mind what he said about the Fed, but he's warming up and he's getting into it right now.
Every time we get a new president and we get a right-leaning president or a left-leaning president, we bring somebody in that politicizes the regulation. That's very bad for the industry.
So you think that the SEC's reluctance to really put a stamp of approval on crypto products has been a political stance?
No question. Yeah, this is all born from Elizabeth Warren. She cut a deal with Joe Biden in 2020. She dropped out of the race in exchange for having a lot of say over what happens in the banking industry and the world of financial services. And so she was part of selecting Janet Yellen. And obviously her sidekick in Washington is Gary Gensler. And I call them the regulatory axis of evil, because they're not studying the protocols, they're not studying the technology. They're making these symbolic statements. They're like, oh, this is about fraud, this is about money laundering, where it's not saying that there isn't some money laundering and fraud, but there certainly is. There's more of it with the US dollar, by the way. And I just think the point is, if they calm down and really studied the technology, they'd be running towards the technology, not away from it. And frankly, Mr. Gensler knows better. Listen to his 24 lectures at MIT. He's actually, at heart, a blockchain enthusiast.
But he was paid to delay. We've been calling it here. That's pretty interesting. Yahoo Finance at Davos there. What he said about the Fed, the SEC needs to be more like the Fed. I definitely don't agree with that. The Fed is a private institution. The largest shareholder of the Fed is obviously the bank JP Morgan, run by the dickhead Jamie Dimon. But what Anthony Scaramucci had to say in regards to Elizabeth Warren, Joe Biden tapping her on the shoulder, paying her to be able to step down and then to be able to have control. They're panicking. They're losing. Thank fuck for it. But that's why we need to get the signal out there. Bitcoin is hope. It is freedom technology. And saying that, Bitcoin has just overtaken silver to become the second biggest commodity ETF. So gold is 96 bill, Bitcoin 27.5 bill, and silver 11.5 bill in just under a week. That's absolutely insane. Bitcoin is incredible, yeah? Now, Van Eck, this is in reply to Frank and Templeton. Rule number 1, don't shitcoin if you have a laser eyes on. Absolutely, because it's such a distortion. It's pretty cool to see from one of the players on Wall Street attacking one of the other players. Obviously, it's all marketing and posturing, but it's pretty cool. Now, shout out to Thomas Farah and 3 days of trading. IBIT 16,000 Bitcoin, FBTC 12K, BitsB 6.7K, ARCB 5.3K, GBDC 27,000. Yeah, GBDC is flying, but not enough to sustain the other ETFs. Supply shock inbound, in my opinion. Bitcoin ETF asset info available here. That's Apollo. That's his site. Let's just say this video is not financial advice, ladies and gentlemen. You're all adults here. You know that. Obviously, we'll reduce the swearing next week. And this is not a Bitcoin-related video, but it tells you why Bitcoin. And only when you hold it in self-custody. Anyway, it's well said.
I think this is just simply an issue that Americans, so many people in this country cannot believe is real. Civil forfeiture, Mr. Altman, civil forfeiture means that the government, law enforcement, etc., is allowed to take away your property, often your car or even your home, without an arrest, without criminal charges, and without ever going to court, correct?
That is correct.
And as long as the police can claim that they believe this property is in some way connected to a crime, they can, this seizure of one's property can just happen without any sort of recourse in the immediate term, correct?
That's absolutely true under the federal process.
And then the police can sell your home or sell this property and use the proceeds as revenues, correct?
After the property has been forfeited, yes.
Pretty interesting. Bitcoin is how you escape that. I do see in the comments there that clip at the start that we played where the guy sending it to the Fed was fake. Maybe they edited. The second one was, I believe his first response was true. And what happened, we did see Klaus Schwab and the evil lady sitting next to him walk off a stage. We will AI fake apparently. Oh, it's gotten good and it still stands to be true regardless. Maybe there's a little bit of fake news here. We do try to get out the news with the fast facts. My apologies. Now, spot Bitcoin ETF's done almost 10 bill in trading volume in 3 days, and according to James Seifert there. Absolutely insane. So it's only just getting started. Now, what's going on with Grayscale? I've had shout out to Peggy asking me a lot of questions, and I don't have the answer for this. But what is happening with Grayscale? Going from 2% to 1.5%. I even asked Matt Hogan yesterday in regards to it. He had a pretty good explanation, but I think there has to be a hidden agenda here. And the CEO is also lying at the end. I'll play the video, and then my comment will make a little bit more sense. It's really strange what's going on, how they ousted the CEO and then they've gotten a WEF activist, and there's a huge amount of outflows there. Is there a secret agenda going on, and what would you speculate it would be? I haven't been able to pull all these strings together, but the Bitcoin is flown out of GBDC and going to the likes of BlackRock.
Michael, it's Guy. Great to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Look, one of the things people are pointing to with you guys is you've still got relatively high fees. Some of your new competitors don't. How are you going to square that circle?
Well, again, I think it comes down to investors having choice. The reception we've heard from the investment community is really one of really thanking Grayscale, thanking GBTC for forging a path for these other products to come to market. GBTC, paved the way through our SEC lawsuit, our SEC victory, and ultimately really over the last 10 years developing the disclosures and the operations and the mechanics that now other asset managers and other issuers get to borrow from. Now, that being said, we're meeting investors where they're trying to invest, and I think that from a market perspective, GBTC's fee really does differentiate itself by the
by a fucking order of magnitude, you idiot.
Factors: the size, the liquidity, the track record.
Totally get that. Is it worth 100 basis points?
We certainly think it is. I think for an asset class like crypto, a lot of people are pointing to the fact that some new entrants are coming into the space, some of the world's largest asset managers, but this is their first time dealing in crypto assets.
So he is talking in regards to the largest BlackRock and Fidelity, but this is the first time in dealing with crypto assets. Bitwise, yes, they're Wall Street. Yes, I get all that. But the lies coming out of this guy's mouth, it's bullshit, it's propaganda, it's misinformation, have been in the space for 6 years since they were founded. So fuck you, Michael.
Operating crypto investment vehicles. And so as an investor, when you're choosing amongst these products, fee is a consideration, the asset manager, the issuer behind it is a consideration, but so should size, liquidity, and again, that track record.
What an absolute twat. I don't think that's going to play out long-term well for them. But is there actually a secret agenda here? Is this designed to do it? I don't know, for those outflows to go out and go to the likes of BlackRock, Fidelity. I don't know. What are your thoughts? My thoughts are he's a total twat and he's lying there, which is no surprise. Fred Kruger, for the record, I do think Bitcoin is going to make Felses this year. So this is the Wall Street side of things. I know that hasn't happened yet. This Grayscale selling wasn't on my bingo card, but the ETF money is coming, mark my words, and much more. And Samson Mao and Adam Back camp on this than the skeptics. And for the record, the impact to the halving is exactly 450 Bitcoin a day. The impact to this new ETF over the first 2 days has been around 10,000 Bitcoin a day. It won't continue at this level, but it's going to be much more on average than 450 per day. The high order bit is the ETF and not the halving. They are going to work together. I think even Matt Hogan summed it up pretty nicely yesterday in that interview that we did do live. And this is good. When this came out, it caused a lot of panic and stuff, but the IRS has chilled for a moment, surprisingly. Well done. Let's give the IRS no, I'm not going to continue that saying go fuck yourself. But I definitely do encourage people, if you're making money, to pay your taxes. Just follow the law wherever you are. Do the right thing. I'll leave it at that. But if you're not selling Bitcoin, you're not paying taxes because there's no profit, yeah? IRS announces that businesses do not need to report the receipt of 10,000 or more in digital assets under the Infrastructure Investments and Job Acts until procedural clarity is provided. Interesting. What businesses are they allowing to stack and accumulate Bitcoin? That's not for the everyday person. They do not care. They're allowing it for big corporations and businesses here. And it's seen as a good thing for everyone else. So fuck the IRS and the tax man. However, it can be net beneficial for you, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, and Jobs Act until procedural clarity is provided, giving the public the opportunity to comment on the regulations and just stack and chill, get it into self-storage, hold it on steel. Somebody reached out. They went, I think, to like Bunnings or a hardware shop, bought some stencils or a punch, and then went to a steel manufacturer and got some offcuts of steel. Just check what stainless steel grade you are using as well. I live a couple of 100 meters from the ocean, so everything here rusts if you don't look after it. So just be careful of that. And stainless steel, low quality stainless steel can still rust. Treasury and IRS announced that businesses do not have to report certain transactions involving digital assets until regulations are issued. Let's just run through here. 1.9 of the estimated supply has gone 3 business days by ETF alone. Read that again. Now go buy some Bitcoin immediately while it's still allowed. TFTC, shout out to Marty Bent. The Federal Reserve has reported a staggering loss of 114 billion, the Fed. An unprecedented event that marks the largest loss in the institution's history. This alarming development placed it in hypothetically third in the ranks of largest bankruptcies in American history, trailing only behind the collapse of Lehman Brothers and Washington Mutual in 2008. Repost at Sean Clark and 911. Now, Wicked, a lot of you aren't ready for the Bitcoin reality barreling towards us, one where only the multimillionaires of Satoshis can afford to remain self-sovereign. Everyone else is forced in custodial arrangements, most of which will become captured and forced to KYC by regulators. This will happen at some stage, so just stack and chill, do whatever you can to get the most amount of Satoshis possible. Not financial advice, a bloody good idea. We can see where the world is heading, the totalitarian footstep, and consolidate your UTXOs. Now, breaking Jim Cramer, the buzz around the Bitcoin spot ETF has become a buyer beware story. Probably good news as well there. Inverse Cramer. Kathy Wood, we played this one the other day, but I'll repost it there. Explaining ARC-B's. I love listening to Kathy Wood. Not as exciting and upbeat today, and I'm sort of railing against the machine. So we'll keep the lovely Kathy Wood out of the conversation today. And just again, a shout out to Matt Hogan. Pretty cool. This was a fun one. We dig right into the hard questions, including how ETFs fit into Bitcoin's long-term story, despite the irony of packaging self-sovereign money into a financial product. For ETF skeptics, this is a great listen, in my opinion. I'm still going to hold the real thing, Matt, but I appreciate having him on there. Let's have a quick look at the price $813 million for the market cap, 41,491. We'll make sure that is still valid. We'll refresh, and then we'll jump into the comments and questions. We'll race through it this morning. So we did have a little bit of a drop off from $42,883 down to $40,900, and we're sitting at $41,077. Okay, it was like $2,000 drops. Big deal, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get $10,000, $20,000 days. And what I like from rock and roll right at the bottom is just buy, no KYC, never pay taxes. How do you buy no KYC? Still have to get fiat to hodl holder. John Cameron, not sponsored, but the Bitcoin Way can potentially assist you with them. I've interviewed Tony before as well. Probably a company that I'd like to work with as well, and we are in conversations. But regardless of that, not incentivized to say any of this now. If you need help, or just Google it, but be very careful, especially with peer-to-peer and transactions. Your clickbait title is completely wrong. BlackRock's plan is to take over Bitcoin. I will write that. BlackRock plans to take over Bitcoin. Of course they do. And they are the largest holders of Bitcoin. But that's why it's so, of Bitcoin mining companies. But that's why it's so important to hold Bitcoin in self-custody for sure. G'day guys, it's Buy the Red Day. Push that red button. Johnny Midas, shout out. Brendan Wank must be talking about Jamie Dimon there, or... Unfortunately, we brought up a number of evil fuckwits today. Yes, twat, in regards to Klaus Schwab. Love the passion, Sean. Someone's mad. It's been a big week, ladies and gentlemen. The greatest man that's ever existed in my life has passed away. Shout out to my granddad. So it is nice to let off a little bit of steam. A remarkable man, allowed me to be who I am today, someone I admire and that I respect, and I'll always go forth carrying his message. Definitely way more positive than I'm being today, but it's nice to let it out some days. So again, next week, back to regular programming. Grayscale, just another fine example of why self-custody is the only way. Bitcoin undermining the dollar. Hillary Clinton, why BlackRock grouping on the funds? I don't know for sure. It's AI fake, apparently. We'll double check that and we'll bring it up next week. Regardless, it's good. Somebody needs to tell Klaus Schwab to go fuck himself. And I hopefully, if that didn't happen, the second video, he sees that video, because this is what the world thinks of him. I thought the clip of the FU at the WEF, just clever editing. Unfortunately, Damon Lamy clip, Bitcoin red light sale, aisle 4, Bitcoin getting red enough, tempt me with that big buy button right now. Most definitely, SBF was a useful idiot and is being protected like one. Absolutely. And we can, have you seen that video with Whitney Webb? And I'm not sure who else she was talking to. Is a really good video, and she dives into what Sam Bankman-Fried had to do with CBDCs. It's crazy. Kramer Effect, watch number go up. The Access, shout out to Cottage Seed, Brendan, John Cameron, Mike, Chris, Luke. Back for more Bitcoin. Mike, there, Luke King, Brendan. Sorry if I missed everyone. Shout out to the legendary Rory Sailor, Cottage Soul, the tone is right and give him the moment. Sean, apologise to no one and refused to eat the bugs. Fuck eating the bugs. We've got an opportunity. We are here. We understand Bitcoin. We continue to read the books. It doesn't matter what Bitcoin book it is. This is a bloody great Bitcoin book. And you'll understand why Bitcoin, not shitcoins, and how Bitcoin allows you to be a free sovereign individual. But if you're here now, you probably understand it. I still enjoy reading all the Bitcoin books. Now, if it weren't for that Bowden accident, it would be a whole coin. Fucking John Cameron. Bitcoiners, stay away from boats. They're absolutely dangerous, and still, it sinks. Anyway, how many whole coiners in the chat? I bet there are. A capital plan to hold it 10 years unless I see something crazy happening. The crazier it gets, the fucking longer we want to hold it for. And why sell the world's hardest asset? You sound like me at home trying to watch this. What a cuttin'. Brendan, I appreciate how you wrote cussing because I will not use the C word. Raven, you're an absolute degen, man. This channel is so better with swearing. Go fuck yourself. Klaus, Schwab, CL, felon. It's a buy day today. Time to buy. Block height 826,297. That's when Rory joined in. When he was watching the replay, it's actually super easy. Just humble the like button. And for the news with the fast facts and a bit of a banter, maybe I'll be more chilled. Maybe sometimes when I watch too many videos of Klaus Schwab and these evil fucking elite, I will get a little bit irate. So bear with me, but I will warn you at the start when it's going to be a video filled with absolute profanity. Basically, I will try temper myself, but it's going to get stored up, and then we need to say fuck Elizabeth Warren, fuck Jamie Dimon, fuck Klaus Schwab, these evil elite that are meeting there, the bloody sex orgies that are going on at Davos actually happening. It's horrific, and these people are trying to control the world, trying to control us. Fuck. They're not even good people. Their souls are corrupt. Their minds are corrupt. Their intentions are for complete control over your soul, your freedom. It is a fucking fight against good versus evil. Sometimes we need to fight them with their language. My apologies. Jamie is the grumpy since they closed Epstein Island. That's the way to say it. The guy at the other end of the table is Bitcoin Maxi. I love this incredible. This wins the decade. Scared of Bitcoin. G'day. Funny how he doesn't mention all JPM's fines for wrongdoing. Fucking fuck JP Morgan. They're an evil banking cartel. 20 tons of coke. We went through that as well. Ladies and gentlemen, I understand this has been a little bit toxic today. It's all good. It's out. Now, I am going to go do something nice. I'm going to go for a walk on the beach, get grounded, relax, chill, reset, get the sun in my eyes. Obviously, I drank it all, but just drink spring water, not tap water. They use all these little things to be able to control you, to be able to dumb you down, make your thoughts a little bit slow and sluggish, and trap you in your minds and your body. It's not how we're meant to live. We are free individuals. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure today. If you haven't already, hit subscribe. We do have a lot of fun. Check out that video with Matt Hogan. It's an absolute ripper. You're all absolute legends. Be blessed. Peace.